tighty, Char, Seraphim, Europe, Nature of Man, 68, Sammy, John Markel, all the way from Brooklyn. Little Motley Crue, Looks at Kill. Thought that would be a very appropriate song for today. The bright colors of women's hair. Just like poisonous snakes, they're giving us the idea to stay clear from them. Reds, pinks, blues, purples, quacky hairness. Just like poisonous snakes. Remember, poisonous snakes, red and yellow. Stay away, fellow. Right? The coral snake, black, red, and yellow. The most dangerous snake. One of the, I think it's in the top 3 of venom. Being bit by a coral snake, I think you have 2 minutes. So you might as well lay down and thank God that you're going out quick. That's all you got. Now, there are snakes that are camouflaged. How many camouflaged ladies are out there camouflaging their mental health? Right? It's so easy to look at the red flags and look at the hair, the nose rings. Good to see darkness as well. On their person, right? You see tattoos, misplaced tattoos, weird tattoos. I listen to Richard Cooper. Some of you guys might not like Richard Cooper. I'm not a big fan of him, but there are some clips that he has. He said that in his clip, 38% of women are tattooed in the world versus 32% men. So a tattoo can also show some poison ideas of some poisonous women. They say that the women get tattoos most likely due to and I did a video live stream on this. A lot of women get tattoos based on the pain. They like to feel that pain. It's an internal pain that's externalizing. There's something about that needle going in and out, but it also has to do with daddy issues. But it's easy to recognize the red flags with bright colors, right? But it's not as easy to recognize camouflage snakes. Sue Fleming, luckily most evil people aren't too sharp-minded and they give themselves away. Hope you're having a good day. Good to have you, Sue, all the way from Florida. If she has colorful hair isn't a huge warning sign, then I don't know what it is. There you go. Especially those bright colors. I look at these gals that have, I think a lot of them are on the spectrum. I think most of it's mental illness, but no guy wants a blue-haired, pink-haired, unless he's Skittles. I mean, men want a classy, natural-looking woman, a nice attitude. And there's guys who are like, oh, I love women with tattoos. Maybe. I can't believe you would take a tattooed woman over a nice, natural-looking one. But anyhow, that's not the point. The point is to look for the red flags. And let's talk more about, and if Gone with John is listening, Gone with John has snakes, and he's a big snake guy. But the bright colors give it away. They're poisonous, right? Just like as we go out in the world and see the bright colored, whacked out wokeness, we stay away. If he has lots of sexual partners, he's doing something right. If she has a lot of sexual partners, he's doing something wrong. Attaboy. Char from Deutschland. Too many tattoos equals daddy issues. Correct. Women definitely slippery on accountability. Well said, Pete from England. Also keep in mind, snakes can molt, so the nice unicorn you married 20 years can eventually molt into a cobra. Well said. Well said. Let's take a look at the rattlesnake. The rattlesnake can be hidden. Lots of rattlesnakes where I ride. I've crossed paths with multiple rattlesnakes. One year, I think I saw 5 of them, and then it's been a couple years when I haven't seen any. But let's talk about let's talk about the rattlesnake. A rattlesnake, the odds of you dying of a rattlesnake bite are about 70% without venom. Yes, there is a 30% chance that you could make it without it, but I would not be. I think it's higher. I'd say 80%. I'm in healthcare, so I understand how much venom costs, and I've had to look at over someone's bill, a hospital bill based on a rattlesnake bite. And guys, the venom is extremely rare and expensive. And snake venom expires within a month. So doesn't have a long shelf life. But a rattlesnake can bite you. Okay. It can affect you very quickly, but you can live a minimum 24 hours for the most part, a healthy male, a healthy woman, 24 hours if you don't get venom. The toxicity is strong, but it's not like a coral snake toxicity where within 2 minutes you're out. Total to fall of feminazi, well said. Tro, good to see you. Or at least with the rattlesnake, you have a warrant. Yeah. So how many ladies out there would be potential rattlesnakes versus very highly poisonous snakes? I would say the average looking woman that looks like she's a family woman, a nice wife, my ex would be considered a rattlesnake. Did I die from it? No, but it did impact me until I got the appropriate venom, anti-venom, to move forward in life. But yes, most women, and they're camouflaged. They camouflage themselves in the foliage. The only way you can deal with a rattlesnake if you hear that rattle, right? You want to go nowhere near that. But we deal in a world with the majority of snakes are camouflaged. You won't know. Now, there are certain telltale signs, I think, if you see a woman that's not tatted up, that has a decent looking hair color, maybe doesn't have all the fillers. I think the eyes say a lot. I have met multiple women with eyes that just seem not normal eyes. Just there's something behind those eyes, right? Has anybody else seen that, what I'm talking about? They might look natural, no tats, dresses even normal, doesn't look total 304, but there's something about them. Camouflage, right? Chameleon. We talk a lot about chameleons, but let's talk about the camouflage. And they might run that camouflage for years until they strike. When a guy falls in love, he doesn't feel the fangs. Well said, Pete. Ain't that the truth? That would be a very good bumper sticker right there. When a guy falls in love, he doesn't feel the fangs. And Pete knows he was married, late 50s, married, 3 kids. He knows what up. Same odds as divorce with the woman initiating. Well said, Trogue. Notice if a snake opens its mouth, it looks almost resembles the female genitalia. Ooh, interesting. I can see that. Just like the Eve and Lilith, the destruction still continues strong beyond belief. Stay clear of her path. Well said, Darkness. Trogue, no poisonous snakes here, but lots of viper women in the eyes. Amazon sells a med kit for snake bites. Comes with a tourniquet and a plunger extractor. Wouldn't hurt to pick one up. They do have those. We used to have them in Boy Scouts. They're not very effective, but if that's all you had, I would use it. The 1,000 blank stare is another look. Well said. It's easier for her to have a plethora of peen. Remember that. Correct. FJT in the chat. The legend is live. The legend's in the chat. Please smash that like button. Appreciate that. FJT knows a few things about snakes all over the world. Check his channel out to listen to real voicemails left from women all over the world. That's probably the most based channel in instructing men that this passport idea that you think, there are snakes in the passport world, bro. They're waiting for you. They're going to tell you they love you. Gone with John in the chat. He knows a thing or two about snakes. We've seen some of his snake vids and his slinging rock videos, which are pretty cool. And congrats for getting that channel back. Probably have to lay low for a little bit. The average woman with tats has emotional baggage and has taken a lot of blank inside her. Correct, Nature of Man. Correct. There's FJT's channel. Appreciate that. A happy, contented woman does not embellish herself for attention. Ain't that the truth? What's a green flag, Rad? Well, a woman that respects her father would probably be the best one. A daughter that respects her father, it probably is not going to be a 304. Now, not all. There's always an exception. Probably not going to get tats. Probably not going to be addicted to substances. Probably going to have a healthy idea of men and women relationships. What's another? Woman that doesn't seek external validation. You can tell a lot of poisonous snakes by how much selfie and how much they're on their phone or their watch. I've always said the Apple Watch is more telling than the iPhone. JC from Texas, just saw that you're on and have to run to an appointment. Good to have you, brother. While libtard feminazi females are the biggest enemy of them. Yeah, all these woke parades. I mean, there are poisonous snakes all over, but they're all ugly poisonous snakes. I can't imagine any dude in his right mind would be wanting to get with a woman with a multicolored hair, the Skittles hair colors. It's just, it's so unattractive. It's not classy. A lot of those are Skittles anyways, because no men are touching that. Well, there are going to be men that touch that, unfortunately. Those are very woke or thirsty men. Caught my first live stream this morning. Gone with John. Good stuff. John's always putting out great stuff. Appreciate that, Char. John's channel. Are zoos helping hospitals with venom? There's, if you look at the anti-venom industry, there's one or two companies. There's one large one that does them all. The venom itself, there were at times, if you didn't have insurance and you went in to get treated with the rattlesnake bite, you're going to expect your bill to be $50,000 to $100,000. That's how much and most hospitals don't have them in stock. They have to go to a neighboring hospital. Pete says women are immune to their own poison. Ain't that the truth? Females with lots of tats are addicted to pain and self-mutilation. Truth. And they look like clowns. Well said, Char. Alucard. Beware of those who use too much perfume. They are most likely hiding a stinky snatch. I was never my mom wore a lot of perfume, but yeah, women with high levels of perfume is not very attractive. Just a nice little scent is fine. Darkness, yes, she loves you being her Mr. Simp, many men under her countless spells. Remember what Hollywood wants you to do. Mars, good to see you. Almost expensive as a divorce. There you go. Hollywood's pushing men to be simps and women to be 304s. A lot of this is generated through screens. Most of the degeneracy comes through a screen. Think about that one. There's women that grow up with a two-parent household. They still end up single mother. Or yes, I agree with that. Also, I knew a gal that had a great father and great mother and turned out to be a 304, cheat on her husband. So yes, there's always an exception to the rule. And I would never put green flags as, cemented in stone if she has a great relationship with the father, because they can also become, they can be the darling in their father's eyes or completely rebellious in the father's eyes. Who knows? Don't get me started, Rad. I came across a vid of a passport for hiring a Colombian to hang out with him for a video. He thought she liked him for him. He almost got robbed by her and her team. Good thing he still got a kidney. I've always told people, if you're going on a passport adventure, do not get with a local. Find a fellow backpacker or a fellow traveler from Europe or something. Smash her and be done. Do not. They are waiting for you. They have scalpels ready to sell your body parts somewhere and to rid you of massive amounts of cash, dignity, and potential danger, which is all danger. If I ever need hospice, maybe it would be better to go with a bite and get it over. I was just talking to my buddy today, Sammy, they're putting their mother, she's 82, in a home. And I'm like, I'm never doing that. No. I'm getting in a canoe from Baja. I'm going to paddle all the way to Hawaii with cases of tequila and bananas and chips and beef jerky and soda pop and you name it. It's expensive. You don't want to get bit by a snake. Now, what are the rarities of rattlesnake bites? I think in the U.S. there's under 1,000 rattlesnake bites per year. That is what the deal is. A YouTuber told you to stay away from with blue hair. That a boy. Is the SOS Verizon cyber attack still going? I just saw that yesterday. That's crazy. Big Papa Monk, good to see you, brother. He's an OG. Parking lot. I can't tell you what makes a high-value woman, but I can sure find the other kind in the past. What do I know? I think we're in the same boat. You wonder if the Dilbert guy did that? Could be. I mean, at that point, who wants to suffer? I mean, give me a sniff of something that's white. I'm out. I mean, yeah, I mean, and I'm in healthcare, so I see this a lot. I mean, just people dealing with bills of their parents, and you know, just the amount of difficulty and emotional difficulty for these people to be in homes. We had to put my ex-father-in-law, while he died, while we were still married, in a home, and it was terrible. I think the guy died just because he was in that home. So that is what it is. Now, there's also, we talk a lot about red flags, green flags. You can't always trust the green flags. You could probably give more credence to a green flag, but you still have to vet. And as men that marry 2, 3, 4, 5 times, that woman still has between those eyes and those ears, behind those eyes and those ears, the potential for advanced female nature. That's what I'm going to call it. Advanced female nature. When I grew up, it was or it was dormant female nature. Good to see Dwayne Coster. Are there any good ones? There's a 1% to 2% that I give for good women. I've met some. I don't believe in girlfriends. You either have a 304 or a wife. Even wives are 304s behind closed doors. Marriages are business for women in general. The number one cheating profession is the housewife. Well said, Darkness. Mr. Legendary John Boston from Boston. Good to see our brother John. He has been around since the days, him and FJT and a couple others, Polska, have been around since the very first 2 or 3 months of Rad's channel. John knows a thing or two about women and snakes and women and divorcees and women and wokeness, even being in Boston. 2 weeks from today, I will close on this house. I have found a little interim place, a studio apartment that I will stay in for the next 3 to 6 months to tie up things. Seraphim says, AWALT, female nature is global. Shar is also on that boat. The female brain is always a female brain, correct? Even if you find, if you had the greatest woman, my brother is married to a wife. They're 30 going on 32 years. They'll never divorce. There's a 1% to 2%. My sister is also is a 1% to 2%. My 2 sisters. I do have one sister that is 98%er. We're pretty tight, but the reality is, any moment, and I've seen my sister who's been married with 5 kids to her husband. There's female nature does not go away. It's still there. They still have to communicate. They still have conflicts. She's still emotional, but she's in it for the long haul. But for me, I give a 1% to 2%. Let's face it, all these women who grew up in broken homes are repeating what their moms did. Well said, John. Is exactly the case. I remember a female was smart in school and she would wear Daisy Dukes behind her parents' back to attract the boys, and now she's a Skittle. A lot of women go in Skittles these days. A lot of women, especially in Utah, women divorcing their husbands, marrying other women. It's screens. Screens have caused this. The culture and screens. Where would we be without screens? Where would we be today? Would it be the same? Would it be different? History repeats itself. In Rome, they didn't have screens. She's got a lot of male DNA. Well said. Microchimerism. I was married to a highly educated MD postdoc. She shrieked at mice and cried when losing an argument. Well, go and look at all of the YouTube shorts about all the women. Just go type in entitled crybaby women. Women literally throw fits. 40-year-old women in the cars, literally screaming. Even in with the protests in Minnesota, you can see videos of women screaming like little kids. Literally, almost as though they resorted back to being a 4- and 5-year-old. Proverb 31, wife is a real thing that only a handful are created and sent down to us by God. The chances are you will find one and you both like each other and the ages make sense are less than 1%. There you go, 1% to 2%. 1% to 2%. But it is what it is. We're trying to keep men safe here. We're trying to protect men from themselves. That's all this channel is about. Protect you from yourself. Don't make the same mistakes a lot of us have made that can cost you financial, physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual health. It's as simple as that. I don't hate ladies. Not at all. I want to understand as much as possible how men and women interact and how women are and how men are as well. So I don't make any bad decisions. I think I have a good grasp on it, but nothing's guaranteed in life. Skittles, women, $1 profession is jumping in front of cars and art. Yeah, I know. I love seeing those videos. They throw them to the ground. I love it. They'll never learn. Appreciate that, Big Papa. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Female nature is worldwide. Ooh, another bumper sticker. FJT laying it down at Chinatown. Forgive me, Father, not for I have simped. Many of us have simped. Betty in the chat. Good to see you, brother. But that's reality. You got to stay away from poison, toxicity. A woman on head meds. Woman on head meds has her whole chemistry has changed. She is not the same person. She is not the person. I have experience with that. I saw the ex-wife go on a very crazy head med, and that person died. So people say, "Hey, Rad, do you still miss her?" The one I missed, she died a long time ago. This one, it looks like her, acts like her, or talks like her. Yeah, and that's one way that a man should move on if he's trying to overcome something. There you go, John Markel. Why does the Quran and Torah warn men and women? Ooh, could it be that female nature was understood back when? Why did Plato and Aristotle not get hooked up? You never know. Song was played in the Warriors. Well said. 80% of subscribers are married men. Got to think most of those are in a sexless marriage. Most of them. We know what happens, especially men that have been married. We know what happens to the intimacy over time. We know what happens. It begins to expire. It's as simple as that. Could it be familiarity? You get bored of each other. There's conflicts. You begin to, it's like water washing away wood, right? Let's say wood and water. Water always wins with wood. You can water treat that wood with a stain, but eventually water's going to make itself in there. It's going to start beginning that. It's going to break down that stain, right? That water resistant stain. And soon enough, over time, water is going to win. That's conflict, guys. There's always going to be conflict. Hell, even with my sons, we can't be around together all day long. We can't be together all day long. It's just human nature. People need to be by themselves to recharge, to rebreathe, to do those things. And so when they see their people again, things are better. But you can't be around the same person all the time. A lot of men think that they should be around their ladies all the time. Doesn't work. They said they get a church girl. Those are the worst kind. Definitely a red flag. Well said. Well said, Jerome Markel. Ice Ice Baby, attaboy. Went to a cover band on Saturday. They played a bunch of 80s cover band. Jay Giles and Dead or Alive and Violent Femmes and Howard Jones. And they had Ice Ice Baby. It's great. Stay away from females in general because they would choose the bear instead of you. Good advice from Jerome Markel. Mr. Gone with John. These are facts, guys. We try to keep men away from these situations. This is not the... It is simple as that. We're still understanding who we are as people. If you understand who you are now, I'm 40 years old. I know exactly who I am. You're going to change between 40 and 50 and then 50 and 60. Things are changing all the time. The biggest person you need to convince is yourself. Batman, he's a great guy. Told me that I'm lucky to have not been involved heavily with those modern women. It's best to stay single. Batman's a good dude. He hasn't posted lately. Many of them blow up my phone every day to check up on me. Checking up on FJT for 300 Trebek. I don't hate, I understand, but it's still another day, another dollar I don't spend on them. That is his tagline. Another day, another dollar I don't spend on them. FJT. Let's be honest, how many husbands can make their wives each orgasm on a regular? Probably less than 1%. Love stinks. Well said. Yeah, yeah, love. When that song came on in the 70s or early 80s, my mom would turn it off. That and Angel in the Centerfold. My love runs cold. They played that too. That was great. My mom would turn that off. Those two songs. I said, Mom, why did you turn off? Was it Billy Squires that did Love Stinks? Or Jay Giles? One of them. So she'd say, love does not stink. Love is beautiful. Little did they know that whoever was singing that song, was it Billy Squire, knew some female nature. Black Stream, better sexless marriage than Black Pill and MGTOW when kids involved. You see Black Stream, 83. My angel is a centerfold. Well said, Trogue. Well said. That's a great song, isn't it? Women pick weak males because they don't have a spine or boundary and allow her to get away with disrespect. Truth. Truth. Think about the chick that married Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sanchez. She was with a football player, right? Football or baseball player in the beginning. So kind of an alpha man. And she finally gets with this rich nerd. He's not alpha. Look at the direction that female nature went. Sought the bad boy, the athlete, and gets with nerd herd, who starts taking a testosterone. Jay Giles did Love Stinks, attaboy. They're a Boston band. Okay. So Jay Giles, but who did Angel in the Centerfold? Was that Jay Giles too? Once you see their colors, you can't unsee them. It's like this. Once you understand the female nature, and most men find it out during a divorce proceeding or a breakup or something, there are men that will go back to, they'll forget it. They will put that back in their mind. And they'll blame themselves. They'll say, I made her run into the arms of another. I should have paid more attention. One of my favorite songs. And so what they do is, it's like this. Once you find out Santa Claus are your parents, you're not going to be able to sing 1,000 Christmas carols and go back to believing that Santa Claus is real. But that's what men do. They will sing those carols and believe in Santa again. They will think the next one is the real one. Freeze frame, attaboy. John knows a thing or two about music. She don't love me. She loves my automobile. ZZ Top. Ooh. ZZ Top's a good band too. Those 304s want a Spider-Man, but don't want Peter Parker. They want Superman, but not Clark Kent. Well said. Isn't it interesting that those superheroes are total nerds, but then they turn into alpha? Did somebody have an idea about female nature back then? And speaking of keeping it real, I had to admit that my biggest regret is I wish I had more sex. It's always best to be selective on who you lay with. Sure, nothing wrong with a man laying down with a woman horizontally. But there does come a cost. Eventually. There is nothing for free. Man by nature takes more accountability. Every failure, man blames himself. How many of us, even I did that. I was blaming in the end. I should have been better. I was taking more of the blame in life. That's what we do as men. We want to fix it, so we take ownership. But it's already too late. Feminism lied to me. You chose that lie for over 50 years. Truth. I could never go back to the plantation knowing what I know. I don't care how many marriage laws change. I can't do it. Yeah, a lot of people say that, FJT. Well, if the marriage laws will change, why? The marriage laws don't change female nature, folks. Well said, Jerome Markel. You do not want to get in a divorce court. You do not want to get a divorce petition. You want to know what will spiral you into the doldrums of depression? A divorce petition. Kings in the Holy Bible had many wives, but weak men today struggling even getting one. How many women play their sick, twisted mind games? 98% of them, darkness. The easy lie versus the hard truth. People ask me, Rad, all the time, oh, what do you think about marriage? My nephew just got married 2 weeks ago. I don't recommend marriage to any man. especially in the West or anywhere, really. If you think about it, the West is everywhere. The glasses make them nerds. Well said. Massachusetts allow post-nuptial prenup. They are sick of women fighting courts. There you go. So they say, well, Rad, but marriage can work in certain cases. Yes, it can work in certain cases. Those are very, very rare cases. That's like finding Buddy the Elf under your tree. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. It's a fascination. It's a fantasy. Just the idea of men and women living together is a challenging one due to the different nature of men and women. One would have to cave in. Why do I know this? Because I know this. Men that are strong, alpha strong men, usually get whittled down like the water against wood. And they finally retreat to their man cave or work a shit ton. So they're not home. So they've basically given up and she runs the place. There's never going to be two CEOs of a company. There's always one. If you have two CEOs, that company is going bankrupt. There's not two lead singers. There's one lead. Well, you can look at the Beatles. I always thought John Lennon was the lead singer, but Paul McCartney sang too. So who knows? Maybe that's why they broke up eventually. You can't have two lead singers. You can't have two point guards. You can't have two quarterbacks at the same time. You can have a backup quarterback, but you can't have two of them on the field at the same time. So it's very challenging to go through a matrimonial arrangement. Just the whole human nature aspect, the two brains, the two wanting desires. One wants this, the other wants that. I mean, it's very different. One has to relinquish control. And it's very difficult to pull that control from a woman. Good Lord, the Western world will have a mighty collapse soon, and many people aren't going to be ready. Well said. A man who leaves a female friend zone plantation is one of her weak slaves that got away. Somebody sent me this, Rev sent me this cartoon about Stoic Cole. Stoic Cole. Somebody post that up. It's a YouTube cartoon all about female nature and about everything we've talked about. Very few marriages work. Our parents are the last generation of long-term commitment. Well said, Slam. Good to see you, brother. You can have 3 drummers in the same band. Look up King Crimson. I know Sweaty Nipples had 2 drummers. I mean, you got 2 guitarists, but there's always going to be a lead guitarist and a rhythm guitarist, right? Consider women like mimics. They play nice when they release their true nature. Play nice until they release their true nature. Well said, Alucard. John Boston, Yoko broke up the Beatles just like that blonde trashy who was with David St. Hubbins at Spinal Tap, and she made Nigel quit the band. There you go. I find myself becoming more antisocial when I go outside. It's the same broken record from random people. Why aren't you married? You need to have kids. You're playing to be lonely and depressed. Oh, take a photo, take a video of you, FJT. With the knowledge I know about them, women dating, chatting with them is not a consideration for me anymore. Most women are true time and energy. Well, a lot of women do seek that from men, absolutely. I always tell to someone who says, well, 10% of marriages are successful. Okay, well, you eat from a pack of Skittles that is 90% poisonous Skittles. Well said, Betty. Without social, cultural, religious pressure on women to stay in marriages and not be 3 or 4s, it's a fool's errand for men to get married. Not recommended, folks. Not recommended. April Wine had 3 great guitarists. There you go. I mean, look at Pink Floyd too. I am seeing April Wine with Triumph in Boston in June. I also have tickets for Rush. It'll be interesting. You'll have to give us an overview of what the girl drummer's like. Right? Let's see. Hold on one second, guys. Greenway is the only original April Wine member. I'm seeing that a lot. If you look at the Guess Who, there's the drummer is the only guy left. Apparently Foreigner, the band Foreigner, has no original members. So you're basically seeing a cover band. He could He could sing and play lead. Well said. A lot of guys were losing. A lot of guys were losing to the music industry. Next couple years, man, we're going to start seeing more and more. I mean, look at Rod Stewart getting in his 80s. You know, a bunch of the Stones, they're going to be gone. I mean, we're going to see Zeppelin, guys from Zeppelin. They're hitting their late 70s, early 80s. I think Robert Plant's 80 now, 80, maybe 79. AC/DC. So Scorpions, they're like in their late 70s, early 80s. This next 2 years, 2 to 3 years, we're going to see a lot of our musical, talents leave us. Marriage is one-sided, where only man's obligations and duties are enforceable by law. I've never seen any court order a female to go to a man or clean and cook for him. Well said. Foreigner had some good tunes. 311 still original. Yeah, they're still playing good. It's ironic the group Foreigner has no original member because they're all foreign. No, there's no original member in Foreigner. Isn't that crazy? David Lee Roth, he's not well, Gone with John. Well, so he hasn't been well for years. But, man, I loved his solo stuff, too. Diamond Dave. That guy's whack. He can't sing anymore. He's got to hang it up. He's got to hang it up. Jagger's still prancing around. Yep. Keith Richards releasing a box set of photos when he was working to help build the pyramids. There you go. That dude's older. I bet that guy's he's a time traveler. Leonard Skinner has no original members. Interesting. Gerald. Well, it's like Beach Boys now. I mean, they're the only last one. I think Al Jardine, if he's still playing, and Mike Love are the only last originals. Her broken box has a lot of Chad's name. Attaboy. Well said. Ginger Hamster. Good to see Hamster in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Check out Hamster's latest videos of highlighting women on drinking too much wine. Hamster's channel. Sometimes I think online media conservatives are the true enemy of men, telling them marry, have kids, and get slaughtered. Misery loves company, Betty. Misery loves company. Frankie Valli is still, he's got to sit down. I'm sorry. At this point, it's like, go out in dignity. Buddy Guy is 90. Wow. I saw Ziggy Marley in the fall, and I saw Burning Spear, if you guys know any reggae, opened up, and there's the lead singer is 80 years old, still going at it. But, reggae guys can go a long time, apparently. Bring back Ozfest without Ozzy. Attaboy. They know that men got destroyed in family court, and they still tell you man up and get married. Marriage is a big money maker for government and taxes. Because they know married men need to make more, which means more tax revenue. Single guys, or guys that aren't committed or have children or kids are gone, don't provide the tax revenue. Dudes sing high range early on, but can't do it when they're old. Axl's got to sit down, unfortunately. Def Leppard's got to sit down. Vince Neil's got to sit down. I mean, even Metallica, listen to their stuff today versus 20 years ago. James has slowed down. His vocal cords are not the same anymore. It's like, guys, just hang it up. Go out in style. Go out on top. Nobody wants to see Vince Neil sing anymore. Bruce Willis, man, that guy, unfortunately, he apparently can't talk anymore, can't eat by himself. That's so sad what happened to our diehard man. Rolling Stones, the geriatric tour, $1,000 for floor seats. They did come out, Hamster, with that last CD, what was in 23. I thought it was great. Their last CD, I thought it sounded great. They can't do their nosebleeds without oxygen. Attaboy. Red wine, little UB40. You have absolutely no constitutional rights in family. Well, there is no such thing as jurisdiction. There is no such thing as family court in the Constitution. It's a criminal or civil. Who has what do they call it? There's a word for it. Vince Neil needs to just stop. Well said. There's nothing we can do about it except somehow try to stay as healthy as we can. Megadeth is finally hanging it up. Yeah. Yep, I saw that. But you never know what'll happen. Steven, Tyler, yep. Gary Sharon needs to stop too. And I know Gary, well said. Enjoy it while you got it, boys. That's why you guys stay as healthy as possible. I mean, one of the biggest health damagers are bad relationships with women. All that stress will just eat you away physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. I think it's something Diamonds. Came out in October of 23. Bruce Willis did everything any woman can dream of, only to be admitted to nursing home by his own wife. Yep. I tell you what, I wouldn't kick Sydney Sweeney for eating out of bed, for eating crackers in bed. She's got a nice set on her. And I just saw her last movie, The Housemaid. Go watch it. It's got some female nature in it. Hopefully Mustang goes out, Seraphin. The church is also a big money maker. Well said. Stop the junk food, the booze, the fast food. Fast, go to sauna, get out in nature. 5 minutes a day of exercise can extend your life by 30%. That report just came out 2 days ago. 5 minutes of exercise. So imagine if you walk an hour 5 days a week and cut out exactly what Hamster says, crappy food. You know, for the most part, give yourself a cheat day once a week. It's okay to have a donut if you're the other days you're vigilant. I'm not a believer in these bodybuilder diets that all they eat are chicken and broccoli and protein shakes. No, you're going to get tired of that. You have to have a Rice Krispie treat someday. You have to have a Snickers bar sometime. Just don't make it a habit. Just reward yourself for all the good work you did. Put in 250 calories of pure fat and sugar through a Mars bar. It's all right. I do it all the time. But I also balance life significantly in the favor of health by taking care of myself. And one of the biggest reasons of taking care of yourself is not cohabitating, not getting married, not playing the chemical games of lovey-dovey. Lose your utility, get pushed aside. Well said, Trogue. There's no such thing as a loyal female with purple hair either. They framed Bruce out and they farmed Bruce out in a string of shitty movies. Yes, he came out with some really crappy. You know who else is doing that? Nicolas Cage has made some really shitty movies in the last 10 years. There's a couple. Longlegs was good. The Surfer was good in Australia. That just came out last year. But yeah, for the most part, they're all garbage. It's just a way for him to recoup all the money he lost on stupid women. Raw vegetables, attaboy. Sugar actually is the worst garbage. Yep, that's what they say, sugar. Try to eat monk fruit or stevia. You can buy candies that have monk fruit in them, which are pretty damn good. Yeah, the processed sugar is not too good for you. I used to have in Venezuela when I was there for 2 years, we would have sugar cane. They would take a sugar cane, the pole of a sugar cane, and we'd grind it through it, and it came out the natural juice and sugar. It was delicious. That would be considered raw sugar cane juice. Jugo de caña is what they called it. Jugo de caña. Very good. Very refreshing, by the way. Raising Arizona. Great film. Great film, John. The nose ring theory. There you go. Another telltale sign. Starch is sugar. Yeah, unless you're going to ride or run, eating a bowl of spaghetti is probably not the greatest thing for your health. But, you know, if you tie it to exercise, it gives a nice carb load. Willy Wonderland was entertaining. Attaboy. He's done a couple of them, but most of them are trash. Apple. I do like apples. Silver is now 92 an ounce. Well said. We're going to see a pullback, but yeah, it's crazy where it was. It was just 30 last year. No excuse to be a fat man or woman. You are responsible for every piece of food you eat. Be balanced. Just be careful of the honey pot, guys. It might be too sweet and very, very poisonous. Ghost Rider was terrible. Yeah. I use raw cane sugar for my coffee. Yeah, raw cane sugar. Well said. Fiat will collapse. Not unpredictable. It's not, well, just look at Roman money. All empires fall within 250 years. We're going to hit our 250th year this year. Are we seeing the fall of the Republic? Potentially. But anyone that's been around, if they're over 40, has seen shit go weird in the last 25 years. I'm about to eat a 12-pack. Get that estrogen in you through those hops. I think it's healthy. I'm a believer. This is, people say, don't put this in your body. Don't put, you know what? It comes down to your thoughts. If you believe it, I mean, how did some of these people live? And they just have the worst diets. My grandfather lived to 103 and 8 months. The last thing, he got diabetes a week before he died, and all he had was a hip transplant. No cancer, no heart issues, nothing. He ate bologna, Miracle Whip, Velveeta, iceberg lettuce, white bread, everything processed, healthy as can be. I don't know. I don't think he probably put emphasis. If 99.9% of everything is space in our atoms, then everything we eat and drink is space, right? 99.9% of an atom is empty space. We are made of atoms. So we're all space. Crazy. Let that sink in. An Indian woman bought me some raw sugarcane juice when I was in Mumbai. It wasn't bad. Yeah. And in Venezuela, we would drink it off the streets. Jugo de caña is what they called it. Cane juice. I have had that sensation, even eating a banana. I think bananas are sweet as hell. Be careful of honeypot cryptos, attaboy. My dad was mostly carnivore. His labs were great. Yeah, every day there's something new that comes out. Chicken's bad for you. Water's bad for you. Milk's bad for you. Eggs are bad for you. Salt's bad for you. Salt's good for you. Eggs are good for you. You never know. I mean, every one of us has different chemistry. Who knows? I think a lot of it's mental. It's crazy. I remember, so I don't mind light beer. In fact, I don't mind beer or a little bit of wine. I remember riding my bike. I had, I think, maybe 8 beers the night before. 8 beers. Got up, drove to Park City, which is about 40 minutes away, rode a 16-mile round trip. There you go, Trog. That's exactly what I was saying. Empty space is not empty. How's Haktua? I haven't heard anything. But anyhow, I go up to Park City, and I had 8 beers. Now, they were light, but, I had a nice little buzz going on. I had the best ride of my life. I rode that. I literally shaved 5 minutes. I had massive energy. I probably had 30% of my energy still in the tank at the very top, which I'm going up 3,500 feet of elevation, 8 miles up. So it's a grind. Now, 2 weeks later, I said, you know what? I'm going to try something different. I'm going to eat oatmeal in the morning. I'm going to eat some spaghetti the night before. I'm going to have some massive hydration and see what happens. Well, processed orange juice, even if it is orange juice. And a lot of that's pretty much fake, right? Park City, Utah. Yep. I was sluggish, and I didn't have any sort of alcohol or lots of crazy bad garbage burgers for like 3 or 4 days before that. And I didn't ride very well. And I'm like, how does this happen? Who knows? Chocolate covered pretzels. Yeah, I mean, look, have a 300 chocolate covered pretzel or 400, and then go walk an hour. Still cut oatmeal. Oh, I love those still cut. I do. I like oatmeal with a little bit of brown sugar, just a little, or honey. I think oatmeal actually is, and that day that I had that oatmeal experiment, I didn't ride very well. I don't know. It could have been mental in my head. I had some issues with some stress in my head. Could have been. But for the most part, oatmeal for me, when I go and hike, I do oatmeal in the morning if I'm not fasting. And it's a great energy boost. It's definitely probably one of the best energy aids that I do. I split firewood all day and drank a case of beer. Never got tired or drunk. Attaboy, Trog. That's where the divide is. A good slap of beef with some lettuce, tomato, and a little mayo and some bacon. There's nothing wrong with that. Nope. No siree. Dark chocolate. Remember in the mountains of Venezuela, Adrian, good to see you. I was in an area that had a lot of cacao, which is cocoa, cacao plants, and they're cacao beans. They look like that. They look literally like a mouse, and they're pretty big. But they are the most bitter. If you like it, everyone's tasted Hershey's cocoa powder, right? You have to add shit to it. But I remember they would be harvesting them, and I'd never seen a cocoa bean that big. And then they pulled them out, and they would some of them would be roasted on the streets. And I just thought that was interesting. And it's amazing how they turn chocolate. Was it the Aztecs that turned chocolate into chocolate, hot chocolate? And they put in those days of the Aztec or the Mayan, I can't remember who it was. I think it was the Aztec. They put chili in the cocoa. And that's why they called it hot chocolate. It wasn't because it was warm. It was because it was caliente. It was spicy. There you go. You learned something. Hot chocolate was the original chili chocolate. And then some dumbass figured milk and sugar would make it even better. Fat's a good fuel as well. Carbs spike your blood, and then you get an insulin rush. Well, my kids would do mountain bike. The coach would say, eat a shit ton of spaghetti the night before, which was really good for them because they had that sustained energy. But yeah, when I fast and I had a big piece of steak and I'm fasting on that, I do definitely have a lot of energy. They're always censoring comments, Darkness. Don't worry about it. Nothing wrong with cacao. Pretty much most things that grow in nature, probably pretty good for you. Yep. Grits, scrambled eggs, and a side of Sydney Sweeney. Ooh, I won't kick her out for eating crackers in bed. Beet juice is the best I've felt. Ready to fight. Beet in Spanish is remolacha. They used to make beet, carrot, lemon with raw cane sugar juice. It was delicious. 2 of those plants, and to produce some attaboy. Cholesterol is what our brains are made of. Well said, Seraphim. Yeah, I love spicy chocolate. Lasagna, I like lasagna. I'm not a big Italian food guy. If I had to choose 3 different foods, usually it's Indian or Mexican, Indian, and Thai are my top 3. But I do like Italian every now and again. Sure. Heavy. Guys, it's been a great stream. I'm going to cut it off here. Be wary of those poisonous snakes around you with bright colors, things in their fishing tackle in their faces, bizarre ink on their skin. And for the most part, that should help you. But also watch out for the camouflage ones that you can't tell. But you can tell by what's in their medicine cabinet and what's behind their eyes. Cholesterol. It was considered so evil, wasn't it? But you guys be good. We'll see you on the next one. Check out all the creators' streams, and we're out. Peace.